only thing holding you back is yourself. Like, I just hope you know that. It's it's not that hard of a concept to wrap your brain around. It's just doing it, you know? Like, you gotta be smart about it. Don't go totally fucking broke. Like, save up money for what you want to do to a point where you know you're gonna be okay. But, I always tell myself, do it for the story. Also be smart about your decisions, because there's been a lot of do it for the story decisions that I've made that have not been very smart. It was fun, yeah, super fun, and again, I've got some stories out of it that I don't... I could probably tell these stories. I mean, it's probably super incriminating. God, I hope my boss doesn't ever watch this. Either of them. I've got 2 jobs. But, like, do it for the story. That's what really helped me break out of my shell, too. Because I came to college, I went from a small town to a big city, and I was just kind of hanging out by myself the whole time. Didn't really have any friends. Didn't like to keep contact with anybody from back home. So, the people I had met at school, through events at school, they'd invite me to stuff and I'd be like, why not? Do it for the story, Worst that could happen is I don't have a good time, but I get an experience and I can tell other people about it. And that's just what you gotta do. You gotta push yourself to do things that you never would normally do. If it's out of your comfort zone, good. It's better. Yeah, you're gonna be stricken with anxiety and have a panic attack and be scared out of your mind, but you will survive it. And this is coming from somebody who took medication for depression and anxiety for 6 months in high school. It's horrible and it sucks, but you will live. And like I said, worst case scenario, you get an interesting story. Yeah, you have to deal with people and people suck. Yeah, it's bullshit. But it's an experience you can pass along to somebody else. And it makes you seem more interesting than you actually are. Because I am also boring as shit. But I've had enough experiences, I've done enough things to where I have the illusion that I'm actually pretty cool. I mean, not cool, but I'm interesting. It's the illusion that I'm interesting. Am I interesting? Not really. But it's the illusion because, I just do stuff. I go out, I go on adventures. It's nice. It's nice to do once in a while. So if there's something you want to do, take out a loan, save up your money, and just do it. You don't have to be in your unhappy slump for the rest of your life. There are other options. And you are fully capable and in control of taking those next steps. I know it seems really hard and really shitty and really annoying, but you can do this. You got this. Don't even stress. Just breathe. Just Jesse McCartney. Just breathe. It's, I'm sounding like a cheesy motivational speaker right now. But all I have to go off of is my 20 years of experience with nothing. I don't have any super real life experience. I'm in the real world now. I'm learning. But just in the last year, I've accomplished a lot of personal goals that I never would have thought I would have in a year. And that was just from following my heart and just doing what I, want to do. What makes me happy. And if you're one of those people who are socially anxious and worried about like what other people would, think about you, again, totally understand. You just gotta go for it. Don't even think twice. Like, if somebody dares you to do something that won't put you in jail, but like, seems kind of crazy and ridiculous, like singing a song in the middle of a mark or a crowded store, a mall or in a crowded store, say okay and go for it. Close your eyes if you have to. Just sing your heart out. Because the only thing stopping you is you. And yeah, some people might think you're weird, but also think of how many people's days you're making. Like, a lot of people, their lives are kind of, they're kind of in a mundane rut. And just seeing something like that, out of the ordinary, they'll talk about it. And they'll remember it, they'll smile about it, and it might encourage them to do something equally as crazy. Or it might, encourage them to encourage someone else to just do whatever. You're gonna be a part of their life, and they're always going to remember you because of that one crazy thing that you did that one time because somebody dared you. Yeah, it was stupid. Of course it's stupid. The best things in life are stupid. It's just good to go for. You gotta go for broke. Again, the only thing holding you back is yourself. Be you. And I mean, I'm not trying to, like, I'm not calling you a loser for not coming out of your comfort zone and doing, like, new things. Like, not at all. Because you also gotta do what makes you happy. Like, you know your own limits. Like, don't let some random asshole who's racing an Isetta BMW because he doesn't have anything else to do with his free time on the internet tell you how to dictate your life. I'm just hoping I can give good advice and help inspire you to just take that next step that you need to take. And I am saying this fully unaware of what my next steps are. Like, I've got a few things in my personal life that I need to work on, my professional life, my working life, making progress there, which is great. It's just slow going, it's a grind. I started making videos because I needed or something to fill the void, because I had graduated college a few weeks ago, almost a month ago, jeez. And I got super depressed because I wasn't doing anything. I just needed something to do. And I've always wanted to make videos for the internet, so I decided, you know, I have the ability, I have the skills, I know how to, like, do it even shitty. I'm gonna do that. So I started a YouTube channel, you know, I stream on Twitch. I take what I stream on Twitch and put it on YouTube. Edited, obviously, so if you really want to see this, you can, you know, check out YouTube. I'll probably have it condensed down, or I might split it up into parts based off of laps. I don't know yet. I'll cross that bridge when I get there. You'll definitely know what I do because it'll be up. But so I just went for it, you know, and I figured it's a good way to hone a craft. Like, I'm good at editing audio. I need to work on editing video. I use Windows Movie Maker because I don't want to spend money on on other software. And I know there's other, like, freeware, but I used to make videos back when I was like 10, 11, 12, and I used Windows Movie Maker. They weren't good videos. I tried to do like a combination of stop motion and like stop motion animation, but with like storyboards and like Microsoft Paint. It was okay, but it definitely wasn't good. Like, the ideas were there. You could see where I was going with things. I've got a couple of the good ones on my private channel on YouTube. My private channel on YouTube. I've made the videos private. I might make them unlisted. If anybody ever wants to see them, I'll totally show them. Like, they've been on YouTube for 6 years now. Over 6 years. Crazy to me. I got into the YouTube game early. Like, not videos and stuff, just I discovered YouTube early. Like, when Fred was popular, Fail Toy, I think is what the guy's name was. 2008, because Weezer had come out with the music video to Pork and Beans. There's another band I need to talk about. They had come out with a music video to Pork and Beans. And that was the Internet the Video. Like, 2008 Internet the Video. That music video to Pork and Beans by Weezer is a freaking internet time capsule. I love it. It's got Kelly with that song Shoes, the Coke and Mentos guys, overdubs, Chris Crocker. Like, Leave Britney Alone is what he got famous for. He does a lot of other stuff now. But that video was amazing and it was beautiful. Hey look, I have somebody else watching. Hi. If you want to ask any questions, go for it. I'm just kind of rambling about YouTube and stuff. And personal experiences in my life. In this BMW Isetta. Yeah, so Weezer. Talk about Weezer. I love Weezer. Not a huge fan of the White Album that came out last year. It's okay, it's good, personally. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's not really, it's such a far cry from anything they've ever done, which it's what Weezer normally does, is just this particular album, and their new one, the Black Album, that's coming out soon. And not feeling it. Feels Like Summer's the single off of that's currently being pushed in rotation, and it's okay. Again, not my thing. There's a lot of samples and hip-hop elements into it, which I like hip-hop, but again, it's just weird to hear Rivers Cuomo, lead singer, his voice behind like hip-hop beats and stuff. This is gonna be the quickest race you've ever seen. Oh boy, oh buddy. I'll give you an example. It took me about 34 minutes. You can see that, the best lap. It took me about 34 minutes to do the first lap. Which, honestly, I thought it was going to be about 45, so I'm making better time than I thought. I thought I was going to be at this for a while. But yeah, thank you, Isetta, for watching. I appreciate you. But Weezer, I super got into Weezer for the first time in 2008 with the Red Album. That was, again, earlier I talked about Pork and Beans. That was the first, because Beverly Hills, obviously, everybody knows Beverly Hills, that's off of Make Believe. And yeah, that was technically my first Weezer song, but Pork and Beans in the Red Album is the first one I really liked. And I think a lot of that had to do with my dad hating it. Just because he hates Weezer, he thinks they're stupid. Like, he likes Buddy Holly and Hash Pipe and Beverly Hills, but he hated the Red Album. He hated Pork and Beans. He thought it was annoying and stupid. So I'm like, fuck you, Dad. But no, Tom, you say it's quicker than an X class. No, I've never done the Goliath before. This is the very first time I've ever done Goliath. Ever. Yes, this is the first time I've ever done Goliath. This is probably the second time I've ever actually raced the Isetta. You say quicker than X class. I'm pretty sure you're being sarcastic. Because I've seen people on Reddit brag about how they've done it in 11 minutes, which I know is bullshit. But like 21 minutes. I think I'm got a good 15 minutes on these other people. Yep, okay, it's sarcasm. I can't wait to get the XP. I'm waiting to see how much that is. I've been looking forward to this race for a while now. Anyway, back to Weezer. Pork and Beans was good. Greatest Man That Ever Lived I really liked just because it was so unique and I hadn't heard anything like it. Then I kind of fell off of Weezer for a little bit. I had found the Blue Album on sale at Target for like $5. And I'm like, I've got $5. I'm broke in college, but I've got $5. So I bought it. And it was one of the coolest albums ever, which obviously everybody who knows Weezer knows that. But just that rediscovery was really good. You know, I've been doing ultimate clean racing because I've been going too slow to actually, you know, hit anybody. But Say It Ain't So struck a huge thing with me in my heart. Because that song is about Rivers and his dad being an alcoholic and his stepdad being an abusive alcoholic and him turning into everything he hated. And I think everybody can relate to that in one way or another. It's really cool. And then My Name Is Jonas is just really, it's just a really good fucking tune. It's catchy, it's upbeat, it's solid. Buddy Holly, that's a favorite. Everybody loves Buddy Holly. And the music video to that, they put it to Happy Days. If you haven't seen it, episode of Happy Days. I don't know how the hell they did it. I'm sure somebody could tell me. But it was one of the coolest things. 200,000 XP? Jesus. That's a lot of experience. That's really good. In the Garage is awesome because Weezer did this thing, because I believe that album came out in 1994. Weezer did this thing where they were kind of the revolution of making nerds cool. They brought nerds into rock, which was not a thing, because we were coming off of that 80s, like, hair bands, like, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, you're a nerd otherwise if you don't like sex, drugs, and partying. And then here's fucking Weezer singing a song about, like, D&D and his father's alcoholism and shit like that. And it's just super out of left field, and it's exactly what the world needed, you know? It was the grunge era. It was the time to try new music. The Blue Album came out, and then they followed it up. God, I hope I get this right. I think they followed it up with Pinkerton in 1997-ish. And Pinkerton is another great freaking album. They based the whole thing off of an opera written in Japan. I don't even remember the exact date, but it's called Madame Butterfly, or Madame Butterfly. It's about a naval officer who goes to Japan, and you know, he's just kind of hanging out, he's chilling, and he falls in love with one of the servant ladies, which is a big no-no in Japanese culture because servant ladies, I guess back then, were lower than dirt. And, you know, he's a captain in the Navy, so he's got some status there, but he fell in love with her. They basically had a one-night stand. He knocked her up, he left, and he comes back, finds out he has a kid. There's a lot of suicide type of stuff that happens. It's like kind of Romeo and Juliet expired, but I'd have 3 laps before he even did one. You know what, Tom's, I'm not doing this for the speed, I'm doing it for the experience, but thank you for your input. I appreciate you. In Lamborghini X-Class, nah man, it's all about the BMW Isetta. This is the real breadwinner. You don't know what you're talking about. This should be on the cover of the next Forza game, if I'm gonna be totally honest. This car right here. You got the dinosaur, you got the polka dots. I couldn't think of a more perfect car for the cover of the next Forza Motorsport game. Forza Motorsport 7, watch out for the BMW. But yeah, so that's what Madame Butterfly was about. It's an opera. It's a super good opera. I took a class called Music Appreciation my freshman year of college, and we watched parts of it, and I had never really liked opera before that. That was really good. Then Weezer came out with the album Pinkerton, and that whole album is based off that opera. And if you listen to it, you can totally hear it, like if you've seen the opera or watched the opera or whatever. You can pick up on it and really tell exactly what parts of the album were inspired. And I lost my train of thought, if I'm going to be totally honest, but I know where I'm going next. The main song off of Pinkerton was El Scorcho. And you're not here anymore, Fabian, but yes, I am actually doing it. You didn't believe me, but I wouldn't have posted it if I didn't mean it. So yeah, fucking, you should have stayed, man, you should have stayed. But anyway, so El Scorcho is off of there, and it's a really fun tune. And it's also really well produced. There's a lot of production elements in that song. A lot of panning, like you hear stuff on the left that you don't hear on the right. There's a lot of stuff in the background that you can only pick up on if you like wear headphones and super listen. Lyrics are really good, really well done, solid. That's Pinkerton. Then, after Pinkerton, I believe it was the Green Album. I didn't expect to go into the full history of Weezer, by the way. This just kind of happened. It was the Green Album that had Island in the Sun and Hash Pipe. A lot of people hated the Green Album for some reason, probably because it was so different and so upbeat. Like, Island in the Sun was one of the most mellow songs ever made. And if you ever need to be put in a good mood, if you're in a shit mood, that's where you need to go. That's the song you need to listen to. And yes, Tom, it is a very tense race. Do you see this battle for first? Look at this. Oof. Oh, all these guys behind me. I'm not about to let this pumpkin take me. No way, Jose. No, you stay back there. I think for the third lap, I'm gonna go into full first person. I'm just gonna go for it, because why not? So the Green Album came out, Weezer, everybody hated it, don't know why. Make Believe came out, and for some reason Beverly Hills is the song that got them commercial success. It might have just been like a right place, right time thing. That was on Make Believe. My personal favorite song for Make Believe, though, isn't Beverly Hills, it's Perfect Situation. Again, like I mentioned earlier if you were watching, it's because it was so relevant to my life at the time. Oh god, did I miss that checkpoint? I swear to god if I missed that checkpoint. I'm not even going the right way anymore. God damn it. Great. Great. Awesome. Now the rest of this race is to see if I can catch back up with the pack. You will follow me if I do this again. I might do it again, but I tell you it won't be in the Isetta. This is a one-time thing, man. You know, I think I'm catching up with these guys a little bit. It's fine. No, no, no. Tom, I'm not staying in last. Look at the sweet drift. You see that shit? You can't get that. You can't get that from a... Listen. This is all pro, right? This is all pro. I'm good at what I do. You think I got this good overnight? Nah. Takes practice and dedication. Use the Pterodyne Gurkha. You know, I might. I'll do the Gurkha. That might be the third time I do it. I might just have a whole Goliath series because I hate myself, and what else am I going to do with my life? If I'm going to be honest, this is probably setting the benchmark for the worst and possible race you could do. I don't know if you could get any slower than this. If you can, please let me know. Because I want to take the slowest vehicle on this track. I might do if I ever do the Isetta again, I doubt I will, but that might be a 5 or 6 lapper. I might just go all day with that and see how long it takes for the game to crash. Gurkha could be fun. Weezer. Perfect situation. Wow, you guys suck. You keep getting me the slowest stock. Yeah, okay, so this is the slowest, which I thought it was, that's why I picked it. But I'm sure, there's gotta, but you can use it to go like 6 miles an hour. I could. Should I take the last lap as slow as possible? Should I just... Oh, tune! Tom, you need to send me that tune setup. Over Facebook or whatever. I want that tune setup. I will totally do this. I'm gonna need to find the time. Yes, please. For the love of God, please. If you care about art and entertainment and the sanctity of Forza, you will send me the tune that makes this car go 6 miles an hour. You don't get XP for going slow? That doesn't, but I don't, okay. Sure. You know what, I believe you. I believe you. No, you can do it 6 miles an hour. No, 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 no. I want to do it myself. We can do it together if you really want. How much do you hate yourself? Because I hate myself just enough to do it. You keep getting me sidetracked. I just want to talk about Weezer, man. Just let me talk about Weezer. Perfect Situation, it's good. There's 2 different versions of Perfect Situation. There's a radio version and there's an album version. And as somebody who works in radio, at a radio station who plays the song, the radio version of Perfect Situation fucking sucks. It's the worst. The album version is by far the best. Rivers, a lot of bands do this. Judah and the Lion did it with their new song Take It All Back as well. But Weezer, with Perfect Situation, I'm gonna try to sing this for you the best I can. And there's just, in the song, one of the main parts is like, oh, 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 and they do that, and it fits, it's perfect, it's solid, it's a good message to the song. And then, toward the end of the song, just to switch it up, they go, oh, 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 and it's like a good switch up, it's a good change of pace, it sucks you back into the song if you were checked out. But the problem is, I'm pretty sure I'm catching up to those people. The problem is, Rivers, Cuomo, or somebody in Weezer got the idea that it sucked, and they needed to go back and rework it and re-release it for radio. And they did the oh part that sucks you back into the song. And they just replaced that with, I am totally catching up with those 2 guys in front of me. Just saying. And they just kind of put every other part of the song, and they just kind of replaced the oh part of the song with that, and it just sucks. It's like the same thing over and over repeating. And I love Weezer and I love Perfect Situation, but the radio edit of that song is horrible. Don't. And then after Make Believe got super popular, I think that might have been what the problem with the Red Album was, is people were expecting another Make Believe, but like, only so many... Oh, look at that mad drift! Only so many... Fucking... drifting, man. Only so many people can actually take Beverly Hills. Like, don't lie to me if you say that you could listen to Beverly Hills by Weezer over and over and over again. You can't. It's not that good of a song. It's kind of a cash grab. Like, there's elements of that song that are, you know, pandery. You know, they did it because that's what they were told to do by their label or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, this will make you the best money, this is the sound, this is what you need. So when the Red album came out, people were, like I said, expecting another Make-Believe, and it didn't add up to people's expectations, and that's totally fine. And the Red album came out, and then I'm kind of fuzzy on Weezer's history after that. I think Hurley was in there at some point. Ratitude was in there, loved both of those, a lot of people hated those. Then the White album, which I'm not a fan of, and here we are with the Black album coming out sometime this year that nobody knows. That's with the Weezer history lesson. I went longer on Weezer than I expected to. Do any of the people watching have any music stuff they want to talk about or want me to talk about? Because, I mean, my job is to know about music. I love music, it's my passion. Fucking tell me about your favorite bands and artists and stuff. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a little powwow. Tom, I know you're watching. Do you have any music that you like to watch? You like to listen to? You're just gonna let me awkwardly look at my computer back and forth while I try to stay on the road and catch up to 11th place, I might add. Fuck you for saying I'd stay in last. No way, Jose. Tom, how do you not have any music? Tom, buddy, I'm disappointed. That's fine, we can't all be awesome. We can all kick ass. I understand. Thanks for watching though, I'm just glad you're sticking around. We've got... oh boy, another 7 minutes on lap 2. Oh, that's fine, you won't talk about Weezer, I'll talk about another band I like. This is... well, no, you listen, do you have any questions for me? Anybody watching? All 2 of you? 3 of you? I'm not sure who's actually watching anymore. Are there any questions? I'll answer anything. No. Okay. Hey Tom, I don't know if you see this, but I'm catching up. This might be rubber banding, this might just be the game and its programming, but... I mean... you said I was gonna stay in last. I just want to point out that I'm not staying in last. Oh. No questions. Shit. Fine. I'll just keep talking on my high horse over and over again. You think this is hard for me? Joke's on you. I work in radio. All I do is talk to myself all day. Ha! I don't want to talk about... I mean, music's really the only thing I can talk about. So I'm just gonna keep talking about music. See, I've hit Weezer, I've hit Starset, I've hit Rise Against, I've hit Pink Floyd. Oh boy, I'm cornered here. Damn it. Cracking under pressure. And it's raining. You know, I didn't think an hour and 4 minutes into this is when I was gonna run out of... Let's talk about the pathetic Isetta engine? Yes, let's. I don't know enough about the BMW Isetta engine to... I mean, BMW's German. And I know Germans pride themselves on engineering. How did they let this happen? How did Germany let this be a thing? This car came out in the 50s. What was it for? What was the purpose of this car? You educate me, Tom. You tell me. Was it a 2-cylinder? Was it a 1-cylinder? It's 13 horsepower. I've driven goat-karts. I've raced goat-karts faster than this piece of shit. Holy crap. I didn't know that this was 13 horsepower. Wow. Germany, what are you doing? What was the point of this? This was 1957. You had something to prove. I know you were still broke from the war, but shit. This isn't the way to prove yourself. This isn't the way to get the respect of the nations back. come on, you gotta work harder than that. I mean, you did, you got better, so congrats, but the Isetta was not the way to go. I mean, what is this? Horsepower. Oof. Oh, go-kart. I've got a go-kart story. Why not? I'm gonna tell you about the first time I ever drove a go-kart. I was probably about 7 or 8, and my dad had picked me up from my grandparents' house. I was staying there while he had to work and do some shit. I don't even know. It was some bullshit. He picked me up. My mom was still at work. I'd come home, and my neighbor was there waiting for us. Neighbor's a good friend of my dad's. And he had this big shit-eating grin on his face. And I looked out, and there's this plastic goat cart. And I got super excited. I'm like, oh, go-kart! He's like, yeah, you want to drive it? I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to drive it. It's a go-kart. I'm 8. I can drive. And then he's like, all right, so the U-joint's kind of messed up. It literally only makes right turns. So you're good as long as you only turn right. So what do? As soon as I'm gonna overtake you. What do? As soon as I get in the thing, I turn right immediately. And that kind of limits my options, because immediately to my right again is the barn and the machine shed. And then next to that is a fenced off cow pen. So my only options are straight at this point. I could turn right, but that would mean running into the barn or the cows. So I'm like, nah, it's fine. And then this all happens within the span of 2 minutes, by the way. Not even, it's like a minute. So I gun it, and then I see that I'm getting really close to my dad's parked Chevy. I'm like, oh, no problem. I'll just turn left, because my stupid brain was like, wow, fucking, what are you doing? Because my stupid brain was like, yeah, the only logical explanation, or the only logical way out of this is to turn left in a go-kart that won't turn left and to speed up. So that's exactly what I did. Guess what? Didn't turn left. Also, speeding up wedged me under the truck. Luckily, it had, like, a lift on it. It wasn't that big of a lift, but it was enough to where the front of the go-kart got stuck on the pumpkin, and the license plate was at my chest, and the go-kart still kept trying to go forward, so for some fucking reason, I don't even know. I'll go to first person as soon as I start the next lap. But, like, I don't even know what was happening, but my dad was there, my neighbor was there, my neighbor's brother was there. And 3 men came and lifted a 1987 Chevy by themselves, first person, by themselves, between the 3 of them. They ended up getting it up just enough to where my neighbor could go under and kick it and get me out from there. And the whole time I was freaking out, I was spazzing, I was crying because I was 7. And that's just what you do when you're 7. And I was trying to force my way out, and by the time I was out of it, I had a license plate imprint on my chest. Not like the numbers or anything, it was like the bottom half of the license plate. I had a I had a rash. Oh, there we go. Fuck. I had a rash on my chest where it was, and I had a big ass scratch going down my back. And it traumatized me for life. And I refused to ever ride that go-kart again, because as a kid I was kind of a wimp, right? I was kind of a weenie. And I'm still kind of a weenie, but I'm not as much of a weenie. Oh boy. Oh shit. Back in last. How did I do that? How did I manage to suck that bad?